Good morning and welcome to Tuesday Zoom. I hope you guys had a good Monday. I felt like my Monday was long. I don't know about you guys, but I just felt like it was a long Monday. But I got a wonderful surprise yesterday. I was in here just working away in my little office, and my door opened, and there stood my oldest son and my grandbaby. I didn't even know he was coming. So I worked one-handed most of the afternoon holding him and patting him. I was like, we got to get some sort of an apparatus in here so that I can have him with me and he could do Zoom classes with us. We would just hate that, right? Anyway, he was so cute. But anyway, so for today, we are going to be going over the CMS 1500 form. That is in chapter 8 of your textbook, but we're going to go in. I'm going to show you your textbook, and then I have made something for us to look at that'll give you a visual of how it really looks. So let me share my screen. I'm not going to read over the whole chapter or anything like that. I'm only reading the highlighted part. See, I do my homework too. I've highlighted in my textbook. So healthcare providers are reimbursed for the procedures and services rendered based on the code submitted on a claim form. 95% of claims are filed electronically using the 5010 claim format. So 5010s are electronic. We never call them 5010s. We just call them electronic claims. I had to look up what a 5010 was when I first started teaching, because I was like, what even is that? But that's what the 5010 is, the electronic. The paper form is the 1500 form. And this is what the paper form looks like. And I think that we've gone over a little bit of this before, but these forms are important. Reporting the correct code is essential because incorrect coding can result in a provider being reimbursed incorrectly, or in some cases being penalized by the government for submitting inappropriate claims. The CPT coding system is used by clinics, outpatient hospitals, departments, ambulatory surgery centers, and third-party payers to describe healthcare services. The CPT coding system was first developed and published by the AMA in 1966. Remember that. As a method of reporting medical and surgical procedures and services using standard terminology. So that's all that we're going to go over in your book. Just simply giving us a light introduction to the CMS 1500 form. Now we're going to switch over to our slideshow. Okay, so a CMS 1500 is a health insurance claim form for non-institutionalized healthcare providers. It is essentially a receipt of service and that wellness providers submit to insurance companies to then receive reimbursement. So basically, this is a receipt, it's saying, but it's not just a receipt, it's just telling them what's your name, what's your address, what's your phone number, what's your date of birth, what's your insurance, what did you have done, and why. It's almost the same thing as what we call an encounter form or a super bill. It just gives all the same information. Okay, so now we're going to chop this form up a little bit. So if you look here at line 1, I think we've gone over line 1 before, but we're going to talk about it again. You have to click, or you have to check which kind of insurance: Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, CHANT VA, Group, FICA, or other. Okay, so we have United Healthcare. I have us an insurance card here. Aren't y'all proud? I went and got us an insurance card. So what kind of insurance would we check in box 1 with this insurance card?
The healthcare, the healthcare would be. I can't really see those.
I'm sorry. I know it's not super clear, but I did the very best. I would click other.
Oh, okay.
Just because it doesn't say group plan anywhere. But group healthcare, and I can't see what that is either, but let's just say we're going to click other. Then on line 2, we would do patient's name. Patient's name is employee Smith. Patient's address. other insured's names. And then here's where you're going to put like your insured's ID number, which his ID number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boy, that was original, wasn't it? But all of this information is basically health, patient information and healthcare information. Who is your insurance? You know what, Sean? I would put group healthcare plan, because others going to be that they don't have any insurance. So I think that I want to revamp what I said and think of, as I thought about that, this is a group healthcare. United Healthcare is. So I would put group healthcare. And then I would leave other for things like, self-pay. All right, so we're looking at the middle portion of our 1500 form. And again, I know that it's blurry, but you do have a picture of this in your book. So if you look at line 14, this is where if you look at box 21, this is where you're going to find your diagnosis codes. This is where you would put like I-2510, I-10, K419. So this is where your ICD-10 codes are going to go. Now, box 23 is super duper important, because this is where you're going to put your authorization number if you need one, right? So that's where an authorization number would go. So we would put this number there. All right, so now we're going to talk about CPT codes. That's where we're heading, is into CPT coding. This is the towards the bottom portion of your CMS 1500 forms, and 24 says dates of service. So what you would have to put is the service started on 7/15/23 to 7/20/23. Now, I want to talk to you about this for a second. If you were in the hospital and you were being seen by the physician every day, you couldn't just put 7/15 to 7/20 and put 199203. And I know that y'all don't know what that CPT code means yet, but you will. You would have to put every date of service, 7/15, 7/16, 7/17, and then you would have to put that 99203 every single day. Because if you lump it all together, they're not going to pay that. Okay. So if you're staying in the hospital, let's, for example, say we are on 7/15/23, and you put the date of service would be 7/15/23 to 7/15/23. And then your CPT code, just for the doctor to come in and say hi to you, let's say it's a 99202. So you would do that. And then you would have your fee schedule, so would know what it was charged. And so that is how that would work. And then on 7/16/2023, 7/16/2023, the doctor came in and spent 1 hour with the patient, 99204. You understand what I mean? So every day will call for a different code, or it may call for the same code. But every single day that your doctor goes in to visit in the hospital and wants to charge an E&M code, you have to do each date of service. Did that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, now I want to call your attention to box L. It just says NPI, 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 NPI. An NPI is a national provider information. Every physician has this number. Now, the reason they have this number, it's an identification number. It identifies which physician is actually going to get the money or get a percentage of the money. Now, physician's assistants, some with the right credentialing can have their own NPI number. But generally, if you have a physician's assistant, They will go under, because it'll be like the physician assistant. She has to fall under the care, she has to fall under the supervision of a physician. Whatever physician she is under the supervision of, that's the NPI number that's used. But I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit about NPI numbers. If you're doing this handwritten, of course, you have to put that doctor's information in there, that NPI number in there. How do you get it? You're going to know it because you're the biller or coder. You're going to have that information. If it's electronic, it's automatically put in. So do you guys understand the CMS 1500 form a little bit more?
Okay, I'm looking for it in my book. Do you know what page it's located on? I got the edition of 2022.
It's on page 198.
198. It said that, but I'm on 198.
Well, mine's
Because I had a question.
Are you looking in your textbook or are you looking in your manual?
In this one. Can you see that?
That's your CPT CPT manual. You need to look in your textbook.
Right. Oh, it's in the textbook, in the ICD-10 book.
No,
Or the HCPC.
You go to Evolve where your textbooks are.
Oh yeah, you talking about okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
Textbook.
I got you.
All right. So
Okay, I get you.
Sean, I'm gonna stump your toes. So you may wonder why I chose to go
I got you.
over the CMS 1500 form again. Well, because that is going to be on your NCCT exam. And so I decided, even though we're hitting it, we've talked a little bit about it, and we're looking at it in the textbook, I wanted to take a moment just to review it with you guys, because it's going to be on your certification exam at the end of the program too. So it's important to visualize, because what if on your CPT exam, on your certification exam, it asks you what is found in block 21 of the CMS 1500 form. Do you know what's found in 21? It's the ICD-10 codes. So do I remember everything in every block? No, but I can close my eyes and visualize where it's at. So therefore I can kind of gauge the numbers. So just do that. Just make sure to review it really, really well. There may be one or two questions on there. I cannot say, but I just want you to be prepared for whatever there may be. Also, one of the things I want to tell you about the CMS 1500 form is you will not ever be able to write on that in pen or pencil. You will have to use a typewriter. When I was working at my facility, my billing and coding facility, we had a typewriter that was made probably in the 1960s. And it was one of those where you had to really, it wasn't electric. It was like one of those, like real heavy metal kind of, but the insurances wouldn't take it if we wrote it. We had to type it. Now, let's hope that your facility, wherever you go to work, will make sure you have a typewriter that you can use. And I'm sure now, well, I say that, but you can get a PDF. Let me see if I can get one and show you where you can fill them out online. Let's see. So I can just show you. That's not it. Now, y'all, I found 10 of them a while ago. And of course, now let's see, let me share. Okay, so I just simply went to fill out a CMS 1500 form, and see, you can actually See where the X is? See how easy that is? We didn't have this 5 years ago, just saying. But, and then down here, you could put in your I, 25.10. So you can actually get online and play around with this just because I think it's fun. I like a visual. Y'all should know that. So 0, 7, 15, 20, 23. Oh, I didn't have to put the 20. 23 to 0, 7, 15, 23. And then we were using the CPT code 9920. So makes sense? Much simpler doing it that way, right? So hopefully your facility will have that for you. If not,
So the NPI one digit.
say it again.
How many digits in the NPI code and the NPI number?
It just depends.
It's just one number.
No, the NPI code can be, it's usually like 7 or 8 numbers, but it really depends on how long you've been a physician too. So, you know, like if you're like 90 years old and still practicing, your number's probably going to be shorter than somebody that just became a doctor. But the NPI number is nothing for you guys to stress out over. I had 13 doctors with 13 different NPI numbers. All you do is write them down. Dr. Davis. I had a binder and I had
But I was looking at the little space.
Huh?
And that little space, all those numbers can fit in that little bit space.
Yeah, but it's long.
Right there where it says NPI.
Yeah, but it'll all fit. You're not gonna have to.
Oh, that's it. Where's the ID? Okay.
Yeah, it'll all fit.
I got you.
All right. Well, I hope you guys learned something today. No Zoom tomorrow, but we'll have Zoom at 4 o'clock on Thursday, and we're going to be covering HCPCS coding. So I'm excited to do that because it's durable medical equipment, IV poles, different things like that. So we get to take a look at where all the supplies come from, the surgical trays. Also in your HCPCS manual, you're going to find dental stuff. You're going to find dental procedures. So why they chose to put that in the HCPCS. But I do have one thing that I want to go over with you. It's going to be a question and assignment coming up a little later. But I want to talk about, I'm going to ask the question. E&M codes begin with the number 99. And they're the first section of the CPT code book. Why do you think they begin with 99 and not 0? Because whenever the CPT was first developed, there were not E&M codes. Those came later. So when they put those E&M codes in, they started them with 99 and put them at the beginning because they're the codes used most often. So, you know, that's something new I learned. I always wondered, but I never dug into it. Well, I did a little digging this time, and I just found it interesting that E&M coding came much later than the other CPT codes. And they put them at the very beginning instead of the end in numerical order because E&M codes are the most used codes in the CPT manual. So little fun facts for you. Okay, well, you guys have a great day. I will see you on Thursday at 4. Bye-bye.